Hey everyone, welcome to Front of the Episode. I'm Menti, and this is episode 59 of the Battleship Brawls Season 4 tournament. This episode should be a fun one. We've got the Crossfire by Harness here, becoming the new active combatant, going up against the Quasi by Pacus. These are both really strong ships with some interesting armaments and construction methods. So this will be fun to watch, I think. Let's go ahead and get this battle underway. Both ships aiming in, getting their guns ready. Just a hail of fire going in towards both ships. Looks like the Quasis, the Quasis are striking first. But looks like they're mostly missing, went a little bit too far. I think it doesn't have the proper setting, so it aims for the spawn stick. I was aiming behind the Crossfire, which moved forward. Quasi losing a turret off that first volley, taking some significant damage. Crossfire not really losing much. That HE on the Crossfire, I mean, it's almost completely HE. So I imagine it is going to rip gigantic holes in the hull of the Quasi with each strike. Quasi taking some hits, lost some propellers it seems. Yeah, it's got some pretty... Oh, straight to the turret face there. Losing a couple of guns. Quasi down to 89%, Crossfire at 96. Let's go see how the Crossfire is looking. Yeah, looking pretty well. Not any... I still love the way the Crossfire takes damage. It just looks so awesome. It is so satisfying to see those holes. Though I don't imagine the Quasi is going to blow a whole lot of holes since it uses a lot of fragmentation shells. And oh, those shells got in there pretty deep before they detonated. It's interesting. How do these blocks on the outside get blown out without the shells in the blocks in the middle getting destroyed? I think it might be some of that HE leaking stuff going on or something. I don't know. That's really weird. Crossfire evading some shells with its rather unconventional hull style in its movements. It's like one of those those water spiders. And it's not very vulnerable to fragments either because it is pretty much solid construction. There's not really any space anywhere in the ship. So fragments, and it's a lot of stone. Fragments don't do great against stone. I mean, they're not bad, but they're not great. HE would do better against stone, I would think, but I could be wrong there. Who knows? I'm sure somebody does, and they'll tell me in the comments. Probably Nucleizer. Oh man, look at the Quasi's just absolutely shredded. There's so much damage to the hull of the Quasi because it's made mostly of, wooden square corners and such. So whenever it does get hit, basically everything in the blast radius of the shell is destroyed. And with that many HE shells raining in, it does some work. Yeah, let's look at all that confetti. That was just with like 2 shells. Quasi is listing heavily to the left. Not doing so well. Just making it easier for the Crossfire to land those hits. Crossfire took a hit to its superstructure there, and I mean, look, yeah, there's some damage, but it didn't do all that much. That's even wood. Though it did lose quite a few guns. The Crossfire has not gotten out of this unscathed, but its hull is just fine. Like, it's got some chunks ripped out here and there, but for the most part, Crossfire is in okay condition, whereas the Quasi is, you know, about to capsize. And is just exposing a whole bunch of ship to get hammered on by all those high explosive shells. Oh, the bow has actually been severed. Yeah, and that would be more than... Oh, wait, is it despawning? Oh. Wait, it says 2 damage, but it's despawning. It must have gotten an 80% sinking. Because now it's saying 2 damaged. But it's not getting any disqualification time. That's weird. That was a really weird despawn there, but there's no doubt that the Quasi was on its way out there. So that is the end of round 1. Crossfire dominantly victorious. Didn't even spend all of its materials on repairs. Let's go ahead and get things set up here for round 2. All right, camera in position. You know, a little bit of frame issues there at the start, but it clears up pretty quick. It's moving decently enough. That's just the friggin' shotgunning of shells. Oh, Quasi getting tossed around by an explosion there. Significant amount of damage to the center of the ship right here. Like that, if the Crossfire keeps hitting in that same spot, it's actually the Quasi will actually be in danger of getting severed, just cut in half. Not an easy feat to achieve, and there's a lot of things inside the Quasi made to prevent that, like these stone beams going across and everything, but alright, Quasi's down to 89%, Crossfire's still at 97.8. The Quasi's armament is just not doing enough damage to the Crossfire. So I think it is it's both its actual construction with, you know, being basically entirely made of stone, just a solid thing of stone, combined with its, you know, flat profile and just spread out design is really reducing the effectiveness of the fragments. Like, they just do not do anything to this ship. They might knock off some barrels, maybe damage a turret cap, but they don't really do anything to the hull. And this thing has guns to spare, so blowing one off with a couple of fragments doesn't really bother it that much. Whereas the Quasi is just having its entire hull destroyed and ripped away by the constant barrage of high explosive. Just look at all that damage. Quasi is listing heavily once again. I feel like this round's going even worse for the Quasi than the first one. And the Quasi's guns are no longer able to elevate and fire. counter side. I guess I should be looking at it from this angle so we can actually see the explosions and damage being done, huh? That'd make a lot more sense. Yeah, it seems like the Quasi was built to defeat, you know, APHE hybrid shells that penetrate in and then detonate. With all this space, with all this open space and everything, but Crossfire's guns don't really do that. They are intended to deliver what kinetic payload they have to the shell they impact and then detonate. Which means it doesn't matter if you've got all that open space, it's still going to blow massive holes in the surface that it detonates against. Just, jeez. Oh wow, that whole inside of this gun just got cored out by that explosion. That was cool. Quasi down to 56%. One more volley from the Crossfire will probably end it. And here it comes. Yep, and there it is. The Quasi is 2 damaged, so it did manage to get one of its guns in position to elevate and fire again. That is something, but it is not enough. The Quasi is done. It is 2 damaged and destroyed. So the Crossfire is victorious here, and will be continuing on. I mean, both these ships will be continuing on. They don't. Neither of them would have had 3 losses after this battle anyway. But you know, go ahead and check out the description for all that description-y stuff. And otherwise, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you on the battlefield.